Hey everybody, welcome to the Baja Beach Bash 2022 recap video. This is me, Chris. I'm sitting here with my dad,
How you doing, everybody?
Max, and we're gonna recap the video and some of the footage and talk about the trip. We had a great trip this year. Started off with a really big surprise of 450,000 raised for the Rancho Santa Marta School and Orphanage in San Vicente. My dad and I combined, I think, got close to 5,000 this year.
And I was able to speak with Bill and Kay, who started the orphanage. Really appreciate speaking with them every year and how important it is to the people in the area, not just, those in the school there.
Yeah, I think they do busing and support the cities of Ensenada and all the way south as San Quintin bus kids in for the school there. And I think 50 kids live there full time. But had a great ride out of San Vicente on our way down to Coyote Cows. It's just over the mountain. And here's where we kind of end each ride on day one. It's a real short 20 miles. We got some great pictures here of the ocean. The clouds were covering us, which was great. Cool surf and some pictures here of our friends.
I really love the first day. It's a good shakedown run. And when you come over the ridge of the coastal range, you see the ocean in the distance, and we get to ride right up to the road's end. It's just absolutely beautiful and thrilling. Love it.
Little margarita cheers there at Coyote Cows. Rick and his family are always super accommodating to us. It's great to get a couple drinks and relax and get ready for what's to come. I know day 2 was one of the longer days, 100 plus miles, but had a great ride. Left Coyote Cows in the morning, just working our way down to San Quintin, where we end each year. Typically we go to, what is it called? Mission Santa Maria,
Right.
Which is great. It's right on the ocean, so a lot of riding in the hills here, and yeah, really picturesque, really fun stuff.
This is one of my favorite sections of the whole ride, where you're going into La Cueva de la Pirate, and you're up on the plateau, you're overlooking the ocean, and they take you down into some canyons right to the beach. And I had a little trouble on a turn, and I got roosted by some guys, and it was all in fun, but it was a real hoot. Really love that section of the ride.
Yeah, there's a hurricane this year down in South Baja, so the tide was really high. Otherwise, you could ride through that little inlet there in the picture and get to the other side of like a secret beach, but the tide was so high this year, nobody really did that. So did some roosting on the beach and then headed down the coast here, which was super awesome. So yeah, we'll let you guys enjoy here.
Yeah, when we did make it into Pirates Cove, I had to take a break. I had some trouble with my hands and loaded up the bike and jumped on one of the trucks and made the ride into San Quintin. So Chris got to finish the ride after lunch. The lunch on the beach was amazing. It was pretty fun down there. It was a new spot that we stopped at for the lunch rendezvous.
Yeah, we usually have lunch right on the ocean, and it was different to have it in this cove. Got to see some people surf and had some shade there. Some people took some naps, so pretty relaxing time to kind of recharge for the rest of the ride. Had a long beach run here, super awesome. That's one of the cool things about Beach Bash is you get to ride right on the ocean, which is not normal for a lot of places. So took some pictures here with some friends as we kind of wrapped up our ride before we got to the hotel.
In the truck, I had the opportunity to speak with Brent Downing, who brought his son for the first time. They were having some engine trouble on one of their bikes, so we were all in the chase truck together. Really great camaraderie, and the friendships you build on this trip are amazing. You share something that is difficult to explain to others, but those that have done it know.
Yeah, fun afternoon here at the Mission Santa Maria. That's usually where people cut loose and have a good time in the bar, but it seemed like with the additional day this year, making Baja Beach Bash 5 days instead of 4, it seemed like a pretty quiet night, which was fine. A lot of people went to bed and got ready for a good day on day 3.
Yeah, day 3, we got to go south of San Quintin. For me, that was the furthest I'd been. We went all the way to El Rosario, but before we went to El Rosario, there's a geoglyphic feature on the coast. I believe it's called La Bufadora, which is a worn cave that has collapsed. And they have an observation deck there where you can look down in there. There were some live seals down beneath there. Took some pictures. We spent a little bit of time there, but I'm really glad that Cameron and the boys took us there. It was once in a lifetime for me.
Yeah, a cool feature that you realize when you're in Mexico, that some of those features you get to be up close to and realize that it's probably on the dangerous side versus the safe side when you're starting to look at the structure itself and what you're standing on. But really cool for us to be able to walk around and check it out and hit the road. This is kind of a cool spot that was new to us. We saw some people surfing. I jumped in the ocean, and this is where my Husky decided to start having some troubles with the fuel injection fuse. So you can see me frustrated there, but as frustrated as I got with my bike being loaded up, it's a stark reminder when you're looking at the ocean and people riding on the beach and offering their bikes for you to ride. You realize you shouldn't be that pissed off. So I still had a great day. Took off an aftermarket part that didn't seem to be working anymore, and as Johnny Campbell famously said a few years back, if you leave it stock, it'll run forever. So luckily, just removing the aftermarket ignition part, my bike ran the rest of the weekend and was able to have a great time.
Yeah, when we got to El Rosario, got to see the famous Mama Espinosa's restaurant, and it gave us a little bit of time to diagnose what was going on with the bike and resolve the issues there. At that point, I learned that I had broken 7 spokes and bent 3 others on the bike that I was borrowing that weekend. So we loaded that one up because I knew we had highway coming. And one of the other riders, Blaine Dunn, very graciously offered to let me ride his bike. And right before I got on the bike, when we were about to start heading north, Johnny Campbell walks up to me, taps me on the shoulder and says, "Be careful on this one. Don't grab a handful because it's a race bike." And the man knows what he's talking about. I mean, that thing barked. It ripped all day long. So it was a handful, a beast.
Yeah, that's the Honda CR 450 RX, which was a newer bike back in the late 2000s. And was it a 07 you were riding, or a 17, something like that?
18.
But, yeah, pretty awesome to see that thing pull my dad up hills and rip past me on the beach. And a lot to manage when you're going through really tight single track. But if you're riding on a section like this where you're right next to the ocean, that thing will take off and almost feel like you're about to have wings. So it was cool to have some guys share their bikes, and if they felt tired, it's always super encouraged to encourage guys and not give them crap and a hard time if they want to load up. So I think Blaine wasn't feeling it and decided to pack it up and ride in the truck for the day, and it gave an opportunity for my dad to keep riding, which was awesome.
Yeah, I really enjoyed this part of the trip. As Chris said, they encourage the leaders of the Beach Bash encourage you to use good judgment. And with that, I was reaching the limits of my physical endurance on this day, but I was able to finish out the day. Ran into some issues the next day though. So
yeah, he did. Got a nap in on this day at lunch. I think I heard in my dream somebody was saying they're packing up, and then I decided I should wake up because sure enough, everybody was already on their bikes and had to get going. This is my favorite trail, something I really enjoy every year. It's called Upper Leos. You kind of jump off the Baja 1000 course there and head up into the mountains and hit a peak. And once you're at the top of the mountain, after kind of wrestling your bike up the hill, it's got some really cool single tracks, some downhills, and then we kind of pop out onto a road. And this every year is kind of where we meet up with my dad and the rest of the go-around crew. And it's fun because we know we're going back to Coyote Cal's, which is a cool hostel, very relaxed place, and we get to ride some of the Baja 1000 course. So yeah, hit some cool course and headed back to Cal's.
I want to say the logistics, the leaders of this ride, they give you many outs, alternative trails, ride behind the trucks, ride on the truck. They really encourage good judgment because you're really out in the middle of nowhere at times. So help may not come. So we need to be smart when we're out there. The last day. This is one of my favorite trails too.
Yeah, Up in Smoke is what this trail is called. You can't really get to it unless you know some of the ranchers because some gates have to be opened and closed. But once you're there, it's not the easiest trail, but I think after riding 5 days, my dad really earned the nickname Wrecking Ball. I got to watch my Husqvarna and the 450 RX fall down the hill a few different times. So gave him a hard time about that, but he got back home safe, and we got back to the orphanage here in one piece, took some pictures with some people, and that's Saeed. That's one of the orphans that I met that was super cool. Got him a sticker. And Tom and my dad and I went to one of my favorite places on earth, which is Horsepower Ranch. So, yeah.
Horsepower was a really great time to calm things down and relax and get ready for the long drive home. I think we were the only guests there that night, so we were treated quite well by the staff. I was really enjoying myself.
Yeah, thanks Desert Assassins, JCR Honda, and everybody who donated to the orphanage this year.
I want to do a shout out to to Ken Neal as well. Very gracious people with
Bulletproof Diesel
in their operation. Thank you, everybody.
Thanks.